There's a temple that has some extremely creepy practices. Hidden away in the vast landscape of India, there's a structure that leaves modern engineers scratching their heads in confusion. Today, you'll discover a technological marvel that makes our most advanced construction methods look like child's play. Curious? Join us and let's go. Number 12. The Cosmic Connection Temples. Ancient Indian temples weren't just built on Earth. They were designed to connect with the cosmos through sophisticated astronomical alignments that modern science is only beginning to fully understand. The Chidambaram Temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva, contains architecture that precisely mirrors specific cosmic relationships. The temple's inner chambers represent what modern astrophysicists recognize as accurate models of the universe's expansion patterns. The proportional relationships between different architectural elements match mathematical formulas describing cosmic inflation, concepts only discovered in the 20th century. What's truly mind-boggling is how these temples align not just with obvious celestial bodies like the sun and moon, but with distant astronomical objects that aren't visible to the naked eye. Certain alignment patterns correspond perfectly with specific star clusters and galaxies that require telescopes to observe clearly. How ancient architects identified these objects without modern astronomy equipment remains unexplained. Walking through these temples, you'll notice architectural elements positioned according to specific mathematical relationships that mirror cosmic principles. The distances between certain shrines correspond exactly to proportional distances between planets, creating a scale model of the solar system embedded within temple architecture. Number 11. The mountain that became a temple. Take a huge mountain of solid rock. Now imagine carving it from the top down, like a sculptor working on an upside-down statue, but on a massive scale. That's exactly what happened at Kailasa Temple. The ancient builders didn't just construct a temple. They literally carved an entire mountain away to reveal it. They removed around 400,000 tons of rock, which is enough to build a small city. But here's where it gets really weird. They started from the top and worked their way down. Think about that for a second. In modern construction, we always build from the ground up because it's the only way that makes sense. But these ancient architects looked at a mountain and said, "We're going to do this backwards." And they pulled it off perfectly. No modern architect would even attempt something like this today. The precision required is mind-boggling. One wrong cut, one miscalculation, and the whole project would have been ruined. Yet they did it in just 20 years. Today, with all our fancy technology and power tools, experts say it would take at least twice that long to replicate this feat. What's even more baffling is that they did this without any modern surveying equipment. No computers, no power tools, just basic hand tools and an understanding of rock cutting that we still can't fully comprehend. Number 10. The Modhera Sun Temples. Think your smartwatch is accurate? Wait till you hear about this one. The Modhera Sun Temple isn't just a temple. It's an ancient supercomputer made of stone. This place tracks time better than some modern instruments, and it does it without a single electronic part. The temple has this massive water tank called Suryakund with 108 miniature shrines around it, each one positioned with math so precise it would make a NASA engineer nervous. But here's where it gets wild. During equinoxes, sunlight hits specific spots in the temple with perfect timing. We're talking about predicting celestial events down to the minute, using nothing but carved stone and sunlight. Modern architects tried to replicate this system using computer models, and guess what? They couldn't match the precision of these ancient builders. The whole place works like a giant calendar, tracking not just days and months, but even planetary movements. And get this, it's still accurate after hundreds of years of earthquakes, weather, and climate change. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 9. The Meenakshi Temples. The Meenakshi Temple in Madurai takes ancient engineering to a whole new level. This place has 14 massive towers covered in thousands of colorful sculptures. And get this, nobody can explain how the paint has stayed bright for centuries. Modern paint jobs start fading after a few years, but these colors look like they were done yesterday. The real showstopper is the Hall of 1,000 Pillars. Well, technically, 985, but who's counting? Each pillar is carved with incredible detail. But here's where it gets weird. Tap some of these pillars and they actually make musical notes. We're not talking about random sounds. These are specific musical notes, like someone turned stone columns into giant xylophones. Modern scientists are stumped, trying to figure out how ancient craftsmen carved stone so precisely that it can produce exact musical frequencies. The pillars are arranged in perfect geometric patterns that create optical illusions from certain angles. Some experts think the whole hall might be one giant musical instrument, with the pillars tuned to specific frequencies that match ancient sacred chants. Number 8. The Shore Temples. Here's something that'll make you question everything you know about construction. Right on the edge of the Bay of Bengal stands a temple that laughs in the face of nature itself. The Shore Temple has been taking direct hits from salty sea winds, massive waves, and brutal storms for over 1,300 years. Modern buildings near the coast start crumbling after a few decades, but this ancient marvel, it's still standing there, like it was built yesterday. The craziest part? They built this thing using massive stone blocks that had to be transported across impossible terrain. We're not talking about little rocks. These are huge stones cut with such precision that they fit together perfectly without any mortar. Modern stone cutters, with all their fancy tools, can't match this level of accuracy. The temple has 3 shrines, with the tallest one shooting up 60 feet into the sky. Inside, there's this incredible statue of Vishnu carved from a single massive stone block, and part of it is actually underwater. Scientists are baffled by how the temple's foundation has stayed stable in shifting beach sand for all these centuries. Even weirder, some of the carvings on the walls are so detailed you can see individual strands of hair on the figures. How did they achieve this level of detail with basic tools? Number 7. The perfect acoustic chambers. Deep within India's ancient temples lie acoustic marvels that create sound effects that modern audio engineers still struggle to fully explain. The Gol Gumbaz in Bijapur features a whispering gallery where sounds travel with perfect clarity across 135 feet. What makes this truly extraordinary is the mathematical precision involved. The dome's curvature follows an exact geometric formula that creates perfect sound reflection. Modern acoustic engineers using computer modeling would struggle to achieve similar perfection. What defies explanation is how ancient builders achieved such acoustic precision without sound measuring equipment. The dome's shape amplifies even the slightest whisper to clear audibility, while maintaining perfect tonal quality, properties that modern concert halls achieve only through sophisticated electronic systems. Walking through various temple complexes, you'll encounter spaces with perfect sound isolation properties. Certain chambers completely block outside noise, despite having open doorways and windows. Modern acoustic analysis reveals these spaces use precisely calculated architectural proportions that create destructive interference patterns for sound waves, essentially noise cancellation technology built into stone architecture. Throughout these structures, you'll find what acousticians call focusing points, specific locations where sounds converge with amplified clarity. These focal points are positioned precisely where important ritual activities would occur, suggesting intentional acoustic design rather than happy accident. Number 6. The Ranganathaswamy Temple. Picture a temple so massive it's basically a small city. That's Ranganathaswamy for you. We're talking about 155 acres of pure architectural genius. This place makes modern shopping malls look tiny. Inside, you'll find 81 different shrines, 21 massive towers, and 39 pavilions that look like they were pulled straight out of a fantasy movie. But here's the crazy part. Some parts of this place are over 2,000 years old. Think about that. These people built something bigger than most modern construction projects without any power tools or heavy machinery. The main tower shoots up 240 feet into the sky. That's about as tall as a 24-story building. Modern builders need massive cranes and computers to build something that tall. But these ancient architects did it with pure brain power. The whole place follows something called a Sapta Prakaram design. 7 concentric walls that get bigger as you go out, like ripples in a pond. Each layer is packed with halls, sculptures, and those mind-blowing towers. The temple stays naturally cool despite the burning Indian sun, thanks to some seriously clever air circulation design that modern architects still can't fully figure out. Number 5. The Virupaksha Temples. Ever heard of ancient surround sound? The Virupaksha Temple pulls off acoustic tricks that modern sound engineers can't explain. Stand in the right spot, clap your hands, and the sound bounces around the temple halls in perfect patterns, creating echoes that sound like musical notes. The weird part? These echoes only happen in specific spots, like someone programmed the stone to respond to sound in different ways. The temple has these special chambers where you can whisper on one side, and someone hundreds of feet away can hear you crystal clear. Like ancient Bluetooth, but without batteries. Scientists brought in sophisticated audio equipment to map these sound patterns and found something bizarre. The temple creates specific frequency patterns that match the exact wavelengths of ancient Sanskrit chants. It's like the whole building was designed as a giant amplifier for sacred sounds. But how did they do this with just stone? No computers, no sound modeling software, just pure architectural genius that modern acoustics experts still can't fully decode. Number 4. The Brihadeshwara temples. Want to see something that makes modern engineers lose sleep? Check out the Brihadeshwara temple's dome. This thing is a single piece of granite weighing 80 tons. That's as heavy as about 13 adult elephants, sitting 200 feet in the air. Nobody can figure out how they got it up there. Some think they built a 4-mile-long ramp, but even that doesn't explain how they moved something so massive with such precision. The whole temple is built from granite that's not even found in the area, so they somehow transported thousands of massive stones from hundreds of miles away. Here's another mindbender. The shadow of the temple's tower never falls on the ground. Yeah, you read that right. The architects designed it so perfectly that the shadow always falls on itself, no matter where the sun is. The temple stays cool inside, despite being solid stone in one of India's hottest regions. There's a massive stone bull statue out front that's 13 feet high and 16 feet wide, carved from a single boulder but looking like it could get up and walk away any moment. Number 3. The Legion temples. Get ready for something that'll make your jaw drop. In a quiet corner of Andhra Pradesh, there's a temple that looks like it breaks every rule in the physics textbook. The Legion temple doesn't just sit there looking pretty, it plays tricks with your mind. Walk through those massive entrance gates, and you'll find yourself surrounded by art that looks so real, it might just start moving. But that's not even the crazy part. This place has pillars that literally hang in the air. No joke. There's this famous hanging pillar that barely touches the ground. Engineers brought in all kinds of modern equipment to figure out how it works, and they're still scratching their heads. Slide a piece of paper under it and watch it go right through. How did ancient builders create a support pillar that doesn't need to support anything? The walls tell epic stories through paintings. But here's the mindbender. These paintings use natural colors that haven't faded in centuries. Modern paint companies spend millions trying to create long-lasting colors, while these ancient artists mixed up something in their backyard that's outlasted empires. Number 2. The Padmanabhaswamy temples. Just when you think ancient temples can't get any more mind-blowing, wait till you hear about this one. The Padmanabhaswamy temple isn't just a place of worship. It's basically Fort Knox times 1,000. In 2011, they found these hidden vaults that had been sealed for centuries. When they opened 5 of them, everyone's jaws hit the floor. We're talking about mountains of gold coins, jewel-encrusted crowns, and even a solid gold throne. The treasure is worth billions. But here's where it gets really weird. There's this one vault, Vault B, that nobody can open. People who've tried say they heard ocean waves crashing behind the door, except the ocean is nowhere near this place. The temple itself is an engineering masterpiece. Inside, there's this massive statue of Vishnu reclining on a giant serpent, carved with such incredible detail that it looks like it might get up and walk away any moment. The whole complex is built using some kind of ancient engineering that modern architects can't figure out. The foundations haven't shifted an inch in thousands of years, despite being built on sand. Some say the temple is over 5,000 years old, which shouldn't be possible given the technology available back then. Number 1. The mystery of the musical pillars. Throughout ancient Indian temples, you'll encounter stone pillars that transform architecture into musical instruments, technology that modern material science still struggles to explain. The Vitala temple in Hampi contains 56 musical pillars, each producing distinct musical notes when struck gently. Unlike hollow tubes, these pillars are solid stone carved from single granite blocks. Modern acoustic analysis confirms these aren't random sounds, but precise musical notes following perfect pitch arrangements. What defies explanation is how ancient craftsmen controlled acoustic properties of solid stone with such precision. Modern tests show these pillars produce different notes despite being made from identical stone types with no visible structural differences. The secret appears to lie in microscopic crystalline arrangements that modern stone carvers cannot replicate. Walking through the temple, you'll notice these pillars arranged in specific patterns that create harmonic relationships. When played in sequence, they produce recognizable ragas, traditional Indian musical scales, suggesting they were designed as complete musical instruments rather than simple acoustic curiosities. Now I want to know from you, which of these temples were you most shocked to see? Tell me in the comments below. Now, go ahead and click on this video that is appearing on the screen because I have separated it especially for you. Well, that's it. And until next time, curious one.